Hey guys, it's me, unemployed Zoomer, still unemployed. Had a job lead today, but they're gonna shut me down. So I've had like 20 job leads, so who cares? Was going. I'm making my series now on just Republican, BS talking points. Uh, this is probably the big one right now. Nobody wants to work anymore. I didn't know which one to start with. There's so much nonsense Republicans say repeatedly every day. So this is probably a good one to start with, given our current environment. But the nobody wants to work anymore. Uh, I happen to be on the anti-work subreddit, and there's a lot of this on there. But I have my complaints with the anti-work thing. But so this is a big talking point. You're going to hear this mostly from boomers, people with real jobs, telling us people with no jobs, or people who are, us underemployed types to poor people. You just hear this from old people essentially with that are established into their life. That nobody wants to work anymore. They will watch Sean Hannity on Fox News, and then they'll go out in public or to the dinner table, with their younger family members, and then they will say their Fox News talking points. Like this, nobody wants to work anymore. So frequently you're gonna have young kids, people, Zoomer like me, uh, saying, I can't get a job, or, you know, none of the jobs pay anything. So that's when boomers, their mind activates, and all the Sean Hannity, Dave Ramsey talking points come in. Capitalism 101 types. So that comes in, and then they're going to say, oh, just nobody wants to work anymore. Nobody wants to work. Everybody's lazy. They go to Starbucks, eat their, what do they say, avocado toast, or whatever they're even saying now, Dunkin' Donuts, whatever they're saying. You talk about unions, they bring this all up. So, here's a personal story. So, I was talking to somebody, and it's like, I can't get a job nowhere. I can't get a job anywhere, and they don't pay anything. And that's probably another video. The a job's a job, but they just say nobody wants to work anymore. Why don't you have a job? Because conservatives expect from when you get out of the womb, you should be working immediately after birth. That's your job, is to serve capitalism. So, you know, if you got out of college, you still can't get the job for the career you went into. It's your fault. Get a job. That's what they say. Get that's another one. They say get a job. So nobody wants to work anymore. Gee, I wonder why. So minimum wage, it's a solid $7.25. So that's about $20 off of a living wage, roughly, depending on the state. Sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the state. But so we're about $20 off though of living wages. 725 and all these jobs. That's another thing. These boomers, these demented boomers do not understand is these jobs, any job that's paying under 20 an hour, usually inconsistent hours, usually even jobs under 25 an hour, the hours are inconsistent. No job that's paying you minimum wage or around there. And I count anything under like, 18, $19 an hour minimum wage. Because if we talk real minimum wage, you're out in the street. I already made a video on this. If you're getting paid anywhere near the federal minimum wage, you're not watching this video. You don't have a phone. You're probably strung out in the street, starving, because anywhere near minimum wage, that is not. You can't get even a share a room with somebody. You're homeless. So that's one of the reasons nobody wants to work. The jobs don't pay anything. Why go to work when you're going to be homeless either way? Why go to work when you're never going to own a car? When you're never going to get out of poverty? That's number one. Until you start making 30 an hour or more, you're just not getting out of poverty. Get used to it. And most likely, if you're poor, you grew up poor. So you already know the lifestyle, but now you have to live it. Because when you were a kid, well, at least, you had no control over it. But now you just feel useless once you're an adult. Just like the rest of us. We're adults now. Well, the jobs don't pay anything. What do Republicans say? Go get a job. You try to do that, the jobs don't pay, you're homeless. And then that's your fault too. They're going to throw you in jail for that. It's a joke. Nobody wants to work anymore. Gee, can't unionize, especially if you're in one of these god awful red states, GOP nightmare states. So no unions, no wages, no sick days, no paid time off. You know, we have no UBI, so you really do have to get a job at some point. Otherwise, you're going to be homeless. What's the point in even trying to work? There's no pensions anywhere anymore. It's all these 401k nonsense. 401k is based off your pay. Your pay's already low. See the problem there? You're never going to retire. No healthcare benefits. These jobs don't offer anything, and if they do, it's too expensive because you don't get paid enough to take advantage of the subsidized, work healthcare plan. One of my jobs I had before I lost it and became unemployed, they offered a employer healthcare. It was heavily subsidized. It saved you a good amount, but we didn't make enough to use it. The people I was lined up with when they were telling us about this, they're like, "Awesome, we're getting healthcare, man." I looked at them, I said, "Guys," and I said this in front of the manager. The manager wasn't happy. "Guys, we're not getting paid anything. We're only getting paid $18 an hour. And if you did the math on the health insurance, it dropped you down to about 15 an hour. Then after taxes and all that, you're maybe making 12, $13 an hour." So I told them, "Guys, you can't afford the health care. Nice try. You don't have insurance now." They said, "What?" Because they act like they're doing you a favor when they give you health insurance through the company. We shouldn't even have this. We should have universal health care like every other developed country, every other sane country. But someone decided to put me in the United States to be born in. So uh, so you're not gonna have health care. You're not gonna have a pension. You're not gonna have wages. You're not gonna have steady hours. It's gonna be a toxic work environment. Your boss is gonna harass you, tell you to move faster for minimum wage. They're gonna threaten to fire you. No paid sick days. You know what? Why go to work? Nobody wants to work anymore. You're damn right. Why go to work? Because these boomers had a totally different environment. They could be a busboy and still have a decent apartment and have a pickup truck. You can't have that. Pickup trucks now start at $30,000, and that's for a very small one. Okay, you're never gonna own a car. You're never gonna have anywhere to live. Okay, and nobody wants to work anymore. That's wrong though. I know dozens of people with felonies, criminal records that are denied employment and have been out of jobs for years now. You cannot get a job if you have a criminal background. So these companies, you got them saying nobody wants to work, as there's a line of felons or a line of people with sketchy backgrounds. Maybe they did it, maybe they didn't. It doesn't matter. If you're poor, well, you can't afford a lawyer. So half these people didn't even do anything wrong. But you got a line of people with criminal backgrounds, but these companies can't be bothered. Nobody wants to work anymore until it's felons there. They can't get workers until there's a line of felons, and then they ignore them, and then they put up their sign again and say nobody wants to work. So it's a scam. These companies are lying to everybody. There are people that want to work. A lot of poor people want to work. They just want better wages, or if they're have a criminal background. Once you have a criminal background, you're going to take whatever you can get, even if it's minimum wage. But even a lot of those jobs will not hire you because there are no protections for people with criminal backgrounds. So, this is the United States. Open discrimination against massive groups of people. There are millions of people with criminal backgrounds in America. Tens of millions. Okay? And guess what? They're not going to get a job or a real job. They're definitely not going to get a career. But what do Republicans say? Go start your own business. Okay, I'm going to do that with my $7 an hour job. Yeah, that pay, 10 hours a week I work. Yeah, okay. It's a joke. There's no point talking to Republicans. And that's what I'm going to sum this video up with is every video in this series is going to be just don't talk to Republicans. They're bad faith actors. They're not serious. Okay. If you're poor, they hate you. If you have a criminal record, regardless if you did the crime, who cares? They hate you. If you're a minority, well, they probably don't like you either. So just don't talk to Republicans. There's no point. They're not interested in helping anybody other than the people in the top or the people that have already made it in life or born into it. Don't talk to Republicans. Waste of time. That's all I got.